What's going on, people? Welcome back to ScrumMaster Screw-up. It's Jem here. I want to talk about the time that I dogmatically insisted that we break up a fairly big team into a smaller team. We all understand the theory of Agile and Scrum being mobile, being nimble. We can change direction, and smaller organisms can do that far more easily, sure. And if you think about the essence of Scrum, Scrum is about having small, adaptive, autonomous teams. And you come out fresh off the blocks as a Scrum Master and you're like, right, the theory says too many people means too many lines of communication, more misunderstandings, we'll move more slowly, the gregarious people will dominate the conversations. But there's lots and lots of good reasons why teams should be smaller. This team was, say, a team of 15 or 16, which is on the bigger side of things compared to the 21st century. Now, I was like, we need to break down into two. Why is that? Because, smaller teams are what Scrum's about. And the developers are like, okay, cool, well, how will we do that? And we got some buy-in from one of the managers there. But look, here are the products, or here's the product that we build or support. As long as we've got right level of knowledge and skill across the two teams, we should be fine. We should be fine, right? Yeah, we will be. Okay, so you kind of spaced out your T-shaped players across these two teams as best as you can. It wasn't a perfect balance, but on the whole, these teams, it appeared that they could work autonomously by themselves. They had the right people to be able to deliver on the product in their own teams. So we become two new teams. The daily scrums would be quicker because there were less people. You could say there was more engagement. Other people got more involved that wouldn't last time. You could say people on an introverted scale may feel able to talk out more in smaller spaces, whereas more extroverted people may do that better in larger spaces. Sprint planning meetings seem to be working better. There could be arguably more camaraderie in a team because it's smaller. Quantitative and qualitative type measures and just observations that we were making and we were talking about in the two separate teams. But there were also new overheads that we had to account for, because if you did one thing with one team, it would likely affect the other. If you took a requirement and tried to implement something, you had to think about, does that have a knock-on effect, or is there something I need to consider from my team to the other team? Okay. Now, this meant there were more kind of, people using things like Scrum as scrums, multi-team meetings, more dependency management. Eventually, things started falling through the cracks. A lot of naivety on my part. Just because you've cosmetically become two separate teams, and it doesn't mean that you become autonomous. Have you made any changes, or are you going to make any changes to the architecture or the infrastructure for these people to truly act autonomously? If not, you might argue that it could be more of a problem to split out a big team because they are still tightly coupled. This is akin to working in a restaurant, team of say 20 people, and we've said we're going to split you up into two teams of 10, and we have not provided any new fridges, any new worktops, no new utensils, limited ingredients, all in the same space. And now, although we said cosmetically we're separate teams, we're running into each other, we're colliding into each other, we're missing things. There are even more overheads now because we are severing the idea that we're a team and we're separate from one another. If you're going to say we're going to become two different teams, well, make sure you spin up another fridge, a new workspace for the people, purchase more utensils, bring in more ingredients, and let them be fully autonomous. And this is where I made the mistake of assuming that management would invest in those capabilities, would pay for that infrastructure. They had a desire to change the architecture to decouple things from, say a monolith to microservices. Take the concept on, which is, before you talk about breaking down a large team, consider the overheads and understand whether there's an appetite to make investment from an architecture and an infrastructure and a tooling point of view to truly make those teams autonomous, or you might make it worse. It would be great to hear your experiences. Please do like and subscribe. More ScrumMaster Screw-ups and mistakes coming at you soon. Thanks.